I think the letter that is on your driver's license should be the letter that you choose. That is yours to determine. And I think you said it far better than I can, but your ability to fully be who you are is for you to decide. And no,
I say I'm non-binary. The government, the society tells me no, you can't be that. And so I want to ask you, Beto, what do you think the U.S. government at the federal level can do to ensure that people like me have access to third gender markers on driver's license?
Thank you for being here. And again, another example of the courage that the people in this community are showing by not just asking policy or political questions, but using their own lives or the lives of their family members as examples for why we've got to do the right thing. I think the letter that is on your driver's license should be the letter that you choose. That is yours to determine. And I think you said it far better than I can, but your ability to fully be who you are is for you to decide, and no government, local, state, or federal, should stand in the way. And in fact, I think we've decided when we're talking about human rights and civil rights in America that it's in fact the federal government's responsibility to ensure that you're treated equally under the law. So we're going to support you, following your lead. We'd love for you to be part of this effort to make sure that we realize that promise for America as you realize the potential.
Anyone who does not and is caught in possession or seen in possession of one of these weapons of war, one of these instruments of terror, that weapon will be taken from them and they will be fined. And if they should persist in continuing to use and to buy these weapons, then there will be other consequences in the criminal code. Anyone who is using an opioid right now, and for most of Americans who are, that use of an opioid began with a legal prescription. I don't want them to fear being arrested or incarcerated or becoming justice involved if they come forward to seek help. And so I think it's very necessary that we make clear that there will be no criminal consequence for possession, for personal use, for doing the right thing and coming forward and trying to get the help, the treatment, and the long-term recovery that someone needs. So that's very much part of removing the stigma around opioids.
Congressman, you recently stated that churches and other houses of worship should lose their tax breaks if they don't perform or support same-sex marriage. Why should the ideologies of religious institutions be a litmus test for their tax-exempt status?
Let me make this clear. The way in which we worship or pray or come together to express our faith, that's something very powerful and important in America. And it's not just within the confines of a mosque or a synagogue or a cathedral. It is the act of faith that takes place outside of those four walls. But when you offer a service in the public sphere, you should be held to the same standards as any other American, and every American with whom you come into contact must be treated the same, regardless of their race or their ethnicity or their gender or their sexual orientation or their gender identities.